Hello there, my YouTube friends and fans. Welcome back to No Man's Sky. If you've been watching my last video, you know that I've announced that I will make a bunch more videos about this game. And I know this game has been out for 3 or 4 years, so it's not a newer game anymore. But this game has actually improved a lot since it first came out, and it's now at a point where it is really amazing, and there's basically no bugs in this game. It runs really well, and I've also heard that the fan base is steadily growing on this game, especially now that this game is part of the Xbox Game Pass catalog, so you can actually play that for free if you're on Xbox. But I would not hesitate paying for this game because it's totally worth every penny. And I think even if you go and if you have to pay for it right now, it's not at a full price anymore, as far as I know. So I wanted to make this video about this planet that I was just about to leave. It's called Kega 5516. You can see it here. I came to this planet and I could not even see anything because I arrived when there was a drastic storm going, extreme heat, and I couldn't see anything at all. So I was like, what's the point? But then I was digging myself on the ground to get away from the storm, and I realized that the storm is actually going away. But look at this, the storm is absolutely crazy here. So I'm going back under. I was kind of making myself some space down there. And I just went out to check on the weather, and I come back, and then look at that. One of those creatures somehow ended up in my cave. There is no other way into this cave than where I just came in, which is way smaller than this thing. So this is definitely some kind of glitch. I do not know how this guy got in here, but I really feel bad for him or her. I feel like I need to kind of help him out a little bit here, and maybe I can make a big tunnel where he can just kind of walk out. I just don't have it in me to just leave him down here. I know it's just a game, but that's just how I am. I get really involved in the world when I play a game, and I feel like I'm really there. And especially, you know, when you play in first person, you feel like it's you that's there, not some kind of character that you're shoving around in front of you. So I have, like, you know, spent quite a bit of time here to just kind of find a way to dig it, and I just absolutely love digging here. You can see here I have made quite a bit of effort here to somehow make this bigger. Look at that big old tunnel. I just want to see if he even actually notices that tunnel, and then he's like actually not facing it, and I'm like, he is turning around though. He must eventually realize that he can go that way. But then, you know, the longer I kind of dig here, I'm like, I don't know. But the storm is going on outside and I can't really go out right now, so I'm like, why not? Look at that, he's finally getting in there. But then he gets kind of weirdly stuck on stuff, and I think if I probably would have made it all the way, maybe he would have made it out. But then the storm is kind of subsiding, and I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to spend too much time down here. I have to refine some stuff. I gotta do some stuff. And that's the cool thing when you're like waiting out a storm and you're on the ground. You don't have to just sit there and do nothing. You can actually get working and refining stuff, going through your inventory, and then when the storm goes away and you get out, look at how beautiful this planet actually is. I'm so glad that I stuck it out on this planet. I actually discovered that this was one of my favorite planets, and yes, those heat storms really suck, but you know, once you learn that you can just dig yourself a little cave as soon as the storm arrives, then you can actually really enjoy this planet, and you don't have to worry about constantly, you know, filling up your health and your shield and all that stuff, because you find a lot of really good you know, elements here. A lot of cobalt, by the way, and you know, anyone who has played this game knows that cobalt is one of the elements that brings you a lot of money, even though the mining takes quite a bit of time to do, but it's totally worth it if you have to just kind of sit on the ground waiting out storms, and you end up in one of those caves that has tons of cobalt. You just can, you know, mine a bunch during a storm. And those creatures are really fun too. I find them really like, they like, to me, they're kind of like teddy bears. There's so many of them. But then I noticed this spider, scary spider looking thing back there, and I'm like, that's new. I haven't seen that before. Is that thing dangerous? I don't know. Doesn't look like it. It's kind of stuck. But you know what? Why is there like a dead one of those teddy bear ones? Why is that one dead? I've never seen a dead creature. Why did that one die? So I'm like, that's kind of weird. Can I like mine that thing and make money off of this meat or something? So I'm just trying to see why this thing died. Going a little closer. Like, weird. I don't get it. No, I can't really mine. It's kind of doing something, but it's also moving the creature. So I'm just going on with my business, doing my thing here. And I see this pilot landing, and I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing, I can finally sell my stuff. I need to go up there. I have so much stuff. I need to make room in my inventory. I get really excited. I'm about to like run up there to the sky. And I'm like, what the hell just happened? This is the very first time I died in this game, and I don't even know why. But then it dawns on me, and I'm like, oh, you know what? That spider thingy probably is poisonous or whatever, but that guy must have killed me, because it wasn't the pilot, I know that. And those teddy bear creatures, they were never attacking me before, so I cannot imagine that they killed me. It must have been the spider thing. So I've just learned to actually having to stay away from them. And I also learned that I can get my stuff back from this thing, which is awesome. I love that. I would be so upset if I would lose my stuff for good. And then I also realized that there is a knowledge stone that I missed. But the pilot is gone, and that's a big bummer because I really needed to sell my stuff. I have so much good stuff at this point, and I need to make room in my inventory. But he's long left, so it is what it is. Bummer. So then I decide to actually try and adopt one of those creatures because I just really like those cuddly big giants. Look at that. The thing that, you know, I realized is, as much as first person is so much cooler in this game, when you actually ride one of those creatures, it's not as much fun. You don't really actually get that feeling, and they move so slow, and it doesn't really benefit me to ride any of them. It's kind of fun to just try that out, but I kind of realized that it's not something that, you know, you have to do or makes your life much better. It's just a fun, silly kind of experience, and it's probably more something that children enjoy that play this game than adults. And so I just wanted to try it out at one point to actually find out. Ooh, there's this guy again. Look at this. I'm going to stay away from them now. I have learned that the hard way, but that's okay. Oh, no. Don't you kill my pet. See, I don't want him. They're like really mean. They kill those giants. So I'm trying to see if I can actually shoot one of those guys. But then when I try, I'm like, wait, what's happening? My bolt caster, which is, you know, the gun element of the multi-tool, is not even coming up for me, and this is the first time this happened to me, so I didn't really know why this was happening. So I thought maybe I don't have any ammo, but I'm like, there's plenty of ammo here. But, you know, when I was digging around in all my inventory and everything later again, I actually learned that my bolt caster was broken and that I needed to fix it. So I actually had to go get the materials for it, or buy the materials for it, I don't remember anymore, and actually fix my bolt caster. As you can see, it doesn't even come up here. So here I am a little later, survived another storm, this time in the building, got my bolt caster fixed, and I'm ready for some new adventures. I just been spending so much time on this planet already because I just love it so much. There's just so much to do, and it's actually a really cool planet. And you know, whenever you land on a really cool planet, you sometimes just want to spend a little bit more time on it. So I'm on the lookout for one of those spider things, and there's one right there. So I don't want to go too close, because as you've seen, they can kill you pretty quickly, but they're not really like charging you, which is awesome. So I'm gonna get my pole caster ready, and I don't even know if I can kill him. I'm ready to run just in case. But it doesn't look like this guy is even reacting to being shot. I'm still keeping at a distance though. I don't want to take any chance, and I don't know if it's actually possible to take him down, but I think I just did. So I'm like, oh my god, this is not even hard to take them down. It didn't even take so much ammunition. So I can finally take a closer look at one of those guys. Look at how cool those guys actually look. And I'm not sure at this point if I get something for killing one of those guys. And this actually is when I tried photo mode for the first time in this game, and look how cool this looks. But when you put it in photo mode, it's like, it's all dark. I don't understand why it doesn't look exactly the same way like I had it when I saw it outside of the photo mode. And yes, you can do some adjustments, but this is not what I want. I don't want it that bright. I wanted it exactly the way I saw it. So I don't know if I don't understand this photo mode properly, but this is how I wanted the photo to look like. Not like this. And I have fiddled around with the settings, so if any one of you knows how you get the photo to just look like the way it looks before you turn photo mode on, let me know. That would be really great, because sometimes I have the light just perfect, and then when I put photo mode on, the light is not the way I want it, or it's not correct. It's not, I don't know what's going on. It could just be glitchy too, I don't know. But what I actually did find out later on, because I'm trying to shoot this thing or mine this thing somehow and get something from it, and I'm like really disappointed. I'm like, well, at least if you shoot one of the creatures, you should get something from it, so it's not such a waste. But I actually did learn later that it actually placed the meat of that thing into my inventory, and it's actually worth a lot. I think for this thing, it's like over 20,000 or 21,000 or something I got for this piece of meat. So that's a lot of money. So, you know, if you kill a few of them, you can quickly rack up money. But I just have a problem with killing animals in general, in real life and in games. I just don't want to do it if I don't have to. I mean, unless they attack me and they're about to kill me and I have to do it. And in this case, I was just trying it out, and because I felt really bad for those spiders killing those gentle giants that really don't seem to harm anyone, and I think they're like vegetarians anyway, so I feel like it's like it just kills them and it doesn't really eat them, so it's like so senseless, such a senseless killing. But the other thing I learned is that, you know, those things, those flesh-eating plants are great oxygen resources. So when you can't find oxygen, always try to find those like vicious, hazardous plants, as it's called in the game, and you usually get oxygen from them, and you don't have to like desperately go and look for oxygen when you scan the map, because it's not going to come up as oxygen if you scan the map, but they're always there. They're everywhere. They're on all the planets, so any of those hazardous plants, I think all of them give you oxygen, as far as I've learned so far. And the other thing I learned, when you have one of those creatures as a pet, like one of those really big ones, there are a lot of times that are literally in your way all the time. And I've spent so much time on this planet, even if they're not your pets, and you try to, for example, get away from the storm, and you kind of like run up the hill or jump up the hill, they're like trample all over you, they're always like in your way. But especially when they're pets, they're always in your way. I mean, unless you ride on top of them. But like I said, riding on top of them is not as much fun as it sounds. And here's a storm, and I quickly dig myself on the ground, because if you're out there too long, you can deplete your shield really, really fast, and then if you don't have something to fix your shield, you literally just die, and that's no fun. The terrain manipulator is really my best friend. I love that thing. I always stick myself on the ground as soon as a storm comes, and then I just do my refining. And two new gadgets that I did not know about before and actually kind of had but never used, and then finally learned how to use them and what they're actually good for, is, besides the refiner, is the save icon, where you can actually just save when you're not next to a safe spot, which is awesome if you're far away from your ship. Even though I do have a safe spot there, but I was just trying it out here, I think for the first time at this point. And the other thing that's really awesome is the actual signal booster, which I'm activating right now here, because I was always flying around on planets for miles and miles and miles and miles, trying to look for buildings, anything that's exciting, and I couldn't find anything, and I was really frustrated because I was like, there has to be buildings on this planet, but I just found out they're really hard to discover from your rocket ship. And when you have a signal booster, it actually does this job for you in a huge radius. As you can see here, it's looking for buildings or ruins or anything interesting. And it actually, at this point, it's actually finding something back there. It found, I think, I don't know exactly, it found something. So usually on outpost signal, let's see, an exosuit upgrade unit. This is always great, so definitely have to go there, because then I can get one more slot in my exosuit, which actually the more slots I have, the less inventory issues I have, so that's super exciting. And ever since I have experienced this signal booster or learned about it, I'm like such a fan of it. I no longer have to just aimlessly fly around, not knowing where I'm going, not knowing if there's anything below me. I can literally just go and fly right there. So you can see, found this building right down here, and this looks like it's a transmission tower. So you don't always know what you find, but obviously you always hope that it's something good, because sometimes there are enemy buildings, and when you try, they're like locked, and when you try to get in there, because you can with the boltcaster, you get attacked by sentinels. But this looks like a friendly place, because there's those two units in the main building. In those two units you can find, usually just kind of like get away from storms, but you also find nanites, which is the very desired currency to upgrade your stuff, and you can restore your shield and do some other stuff. It's always a little bit different, but very similar on every planet. To whenever you find them, it's something good for you. And especially, if you have to get away from some kind of storm, those are good places to just feel safe in, and you don't have to dig yourself underground, although I don't mind. And you always find one of those, this damaged machinery. A lot of times I kind of, if I have room in my inventory, I take that, but it's usually, that's not something that's a lot of value or anything. I most of the time ignore them, but you always have to remember to save that spot. It kind of makes sure that this is no longer an undiscovered spot, and you don't have this coming up in your scans anymore as something new. So that's always important, because I forgot that a couple of times, and I was like, oh darn. And then you can go into the main building, and if it's a friendly place, this is the place where you can just lounge if you want to, but who does that? And in this case, I'm like, oh wait, I can't sell anything here, darn. That's really a bummer, because I was really hoping to sell my stuff here. This is the first time I'm in a building like this, where you actually have to solve a puzzle and not sell anything. But I mean, this is very exciting too. And in this case, it's actually a mathematical puzzle that you have to solve. And if you get it right, you get something good. In this case, it discovered a distress signal. Let's see where that is. That's actually really close from where I am. Well, look at that. I had no idea. I wouldn't have known if this didn't happen. This is exactly what I mean. Because when you just fly around, you can literally have a lot of stuff going on below you, and you just don't see because you're too far away, or the clouds are covering it, or you're just going too fast. Because you have to be very slow and very close far down. Look at that. My inventory is so full, and I realized that I have some stuff that I can analyze. And these vicious fluids, usually they're not worth a lot, so I usually just toss them out. This thing is not worth a lot either, but I'm thinking this is a very unique thing I've never seen before, so let me hold on to it. Can I sell stuff here now? No, I cannot. Bummer. I am so desperate. I need room in my inventory, but I can't sell anything here. But you can just see here that meat that I got, the leg meat, is actually 28,000 units worth. So that's just from killing that one spider. So 28,000 is a really good price for killing an animal. That was about to kill one of my friends. So, you know, take down 3 or 4 of those and you can make money really, really quick. That being said, I actually was like, you know what? I'm gonna be a really bad person now. I'm gonna look. He just killed another one of my friends there, and I am so mad at this guy. He needs to go. I just was like, I got a little money hungry here. Even though I don't believe that, you know, this game should be all about making money, but I'm still new at this game and I still have to upgrade my stuff. So yeah, a little money helps. But look how sad it is. It just quickly killed one of my giants. And I don't even know if he actually killed my pet. This is the question I have at this point, is that the guy that was my pet that he just killed? Because my pet is not around anymore. So I'm super sad. And I'm like, look how fun. You can actually just push those guys around. But, you know, it looks like he actually did kill my pet. But I wasn't really so good to my pet anyway. I've kind of forgot to feed him because I was running away from the storm and then I kind of lost track of him. And the other thing that I realized is you cannot bring those pets with you when you leave the planet. So what's the point? I guess it's if you have a base and they just hang around your base, but I'm never really hanging around my base anyway. I only built a base because the story told me to. But a lot of times when you do not really, when there's no really a point to having a base besides having the fun of building it, then for me it's like, what's the point? Why am I supposed to spend a lot of time in my base when I could actually be out there exploring everything and finding new things? I'm just a traveler. I'm an explorer in every game. Exploring for me is the best way to experience open world games. Just finding new things and see what I can do instead of sitting at a base. But, you know, everyone their own. And I'm actually turning around here because I see something on my radar, like this purple thingy. And I'm like, did I miss that? Should I have gone there first? And then I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I probably should focus on this thing here, at this distress signal. So I'm going to go up a little bit higher up so I can see how close this thing actually is, because it feels like it's not as close as I thought it was. And then I see that it says you arrive in like 2039 or something, and that actually tells me that this thing is way farther away than I expected, and that I need to gain speed, which means I have to go up in space where I can go and fly really fast, and that takes me there like in a split second. This would have taken me really long to fly, just kind of like, you know, above the mountains. I don't know how long it would have taken me. It could have taken me like half an hour, and that's not worth it. And so here we are, and we can see what this distress signal is all about. It looks like it's a stranded ship. That's usually what it is. And then we figure out what's happening down here. And every time you leave your ship, it actually saves, which is awesome. That's another way to save. But I don't always trust it, because it happened to me once where I thought it did that, and then when I died, it didn't actually put me back there. So I like to have my safe beacon with me. And I don't see a human being here or an alien or anything. There's nobody here. So I'm going to look at this ship real quick. It's a really big ship. Yeah, I found one of those before once, and as you can see, everything needs to be repaired. And I've done this before and then actually traded in that ship because it gained a lot of value. So if you actually find one of those ships and you manage to repair the whole ship, it actually can become really, really expensive, and you can then, you know, trade it in for the ship that you really want, unless you really like this particular ship. But I've done this before. I don't want to do this again. It takes so much time and effort. So let's go to the distress beacon and see what's going on here. So usually you get like a story, what happened here. In this case, I looked at the black box and I found out because the tech is all destroyed, it crashed. And I actually get a blueprint out of this situation, so I can decide if I want to inspect the installed ship tech or search for cargo, but I decide for the first, which is inspecting the ship tech, which actually gives me a blueprint, and it's scanning it right now, so I can see I'm getting an economy scanner. That's a scanner that's going to be on your spaceship, and that lets you actually scan a planet to decide if you want to land there, if you know, you can see what's on this planet, what kind of goodies are on there, if that's something you want to go for or not, and then you don't have to waste your time and land on it if it doesn't have what you need. So a storm is coming up again, and I have to huddle back down in a cave to stay safe, unfortunately, because I wanted to take off, but I can't now because of the storm, but that's okay. But then when the storm subsides, I'm out again, and I'm like, I really like this planet. Should I already leave, or should I kind of stay here a little bit more? So I'm like, let's see if there's something else interesting here. So I put my signal booster up real quick. And I have learned to always kind of do that before I leave, right where I am. So I can just kind of see if something is nearby. So I'm doing locate nearby structures right here. And to my surprise, it actually finds another distress signal really close to me, or at least it looks like it's close to me. It kind of looked like that before, but this time it actually is right there behind the hill, not that far at all, totally walkable. I don't even want to waste ship fuel to go there, but of course I'm hoping that I can make it there and back before the next storm arrives. So I'm like, yeah, let's just go and do it. You know, in worst case scenario, I just have to dig myself underground again, and here I am at this other distress signal, another crash ship, and here's this the distress beacon. We got some kind of story again, why this happened here, and I'm usually very impatient. I don't want to read all of this. I should probably, but let's see. Attempt to open cargo hold or search for the pilot. So I do attempt to open the cargo hold and see what happens. Scanning the enclosure, see. I don't even know. Oh, I got a cadmium drive blueprint. Yay, another blueprint. Awesome. So this is like a way for you to also get blueprints that you don't actually have to purchase, but you just get them. And oh my god, the spider is about to attack me. Is he coming or not? I don't know. They've never attacked me before from a distance, but I do not trust those guys, and I just decided to take him down because I need to go back that way and I don't want him to attack me, and I could use another 28,000. So let's see. I should have gotten, oh, look at that. Wow, I made 70,000 from 3 of those guys. Not bad, huh? So if you are looking for, you know, a way to make fast money on this planet, just take out those guys if that's your thing. And I just realized this video has gotten way longer than I wanted it to be, but I just had so much fun on this planet, and I just wanted to kind of show all the good things that you can find on this planet. Besides, like, look at this humongous amounts of cobalt, Really great case, really great, really a lot to find. A very beautiful planet besides those heat storms, and definitely a planet where a base would actually not be so bad because you're safe in a base. But I'm gonna stop this now before I go too far here. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.